Hello guys, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. Um, I know it's been about an absolute eternity, but hi, how are you? I hope really good. Today's video is gonna be pretty simple. We're just gonna be talking, like chit-chatting about some movies that I saw recently. I wouldn't really call these reviews because that implies some kind of forethought or planning or deep analysis or something. I feel like, I don't know, I find most movie reviews a little like pretentious. So that's not the vibe that we're going for. I'm just gonna tell you if I liked them and like why, or why, like mostly why, because I feel like I don't really have anything bad to say, like, or like such a bad thing to say that it becomes like a negative review. So yeah, I've seen quite a few things recently, and there's a bunch more coming up that I want to see. So could potentially do this again in maybe a month or so, if you guys like this. So let's see. I think the first thing I went and saw was, well, not the first thing, but the first thing that we're gonna talk about is the Eras Tour movie, the concert movie. And it was just a concert. It wasn't like what's the word, like documentary. There wasn't any like behind the scenes footage or anything like that. And if you guys have watched the channel for a while, one, you know that I'm obsessed with Taylor Swift, and two, you probably know that I went to the Eras Tour. I went to Nashville night 2. So I knew what I was, in for, but it's still crazy. One, because it had just been a while. It was back in May, the very beginning of May. And two, just there's no comparison to the like high definition of seeing her up close and all the different angles and the dancers and the stage. There's a lot of things you miss. One, just by being overwhelmed, and two, just depending upon where you sat in the stadium. I was lower bowl, like midway up the lower bowl, so I could see a majority of the things that were happening on stage, but not every projection. So a lot of that was really cool. And then obviously lower bowl is a great view, but it's, it's only so close. Your eyes are only so good. So it was great. I have literally nothing, well, I have one thing negative to say. Stop. Why are the songs cut from the set list? I feel like it's like an incentive to stream it, which, like, okay, whatever, but I just feel like people that didn't get to go to the concert deserved to see it. If they went, they deserved to see the whole show. And I was really looking forward to Long Live, because that wasn't at my show. She hadn't started performing it yet, and then I didn't even get that either. So those two things were like a little bit of a bummer, but it's beautifully shot and edited, and she sounds great and she looks great, and all of her dancers are amazing. So it was great. I had a blast. Yeah, and it's across the room. I should have grabbed it, but I got the tin. I have the Taylor Swift tin and like one of the big cups. Actually 2, because me and my friend went and saw a movie the other night, and the theater gave us our regular drink in a different cup. There were 2 variations, which it doesn't matter. It was great. It was beautiful. I've seen a lot of people that even aren't huge Taylor Swift fans really enjoying themselves, so potentially you could enjoy yourself even if you're not a Swiftie. So yeah, that's the first one. Let's just get that out of the way, because it's, just a concert. What should we talk about next? Maybe Thanksgiving, because it's come and gone, but the movie is still in theaters, and that is actually what I went and saw the other night with my friend, because she wanted to see it, so I went and saw it again with her, and I felt like it really held up on its second viewing as well, so that was good. It's a slasher, horror, whatever. If you're not into that, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Because there's a few moments where I was like, ew. I love horror, slasher, thriller, suspense, like anything. I have since I was a kid, so there was nothing in it that was like, oh my god, I've never seen anything like that before. But it was just like a little, it was made by Eli Roth, and he's known to be kind of like gory. I do not like torture porn movies, so it wasn't that. It just definitely had some extra oomph in some of the kills that maybe stuff like, well, the last Scream was kind of brutal, but like in general stuff like slashers like Scream, they kind of stab, but it's not a ton of gore. This was a bit more gory. It was really good though. The cast was great. Even Addison Rae, who's a TikToker, I feel like she did a pretty decent job. I wasn't expecting much from her, especially after her performance in that horrible He's All That remake thing. But she actually did a decent job, I feel like, especially in the more emotional scenes towards the end. I was more impressed with that than even her like normal or like comedic type scenes. But yeah, Milo Manheim is how you say it, isn't it? He's great. Patrick Dempsey, obviously great. It was, obviously not groundbreaking. It's just a slasher movie, but if you enjoy the genre, I think that a lot of people are enjoying it more than they thought they would. I definitely did. I don't, as much as I love the genre, I don't always have the highest expectations because slasher movies in specific can go, really any horror movie can go really wrong very quickly. So yeah, I didn't have a ton of expectations, but it still exceeded them and it was really enjoyable, I think. Decent story, lots of kills, very violent, but yeah, so that was good. And let's see, what else did I see? I feel like there's something else that I wanted to talk about before the last one. I don't know. Maybe that was it. I don't think so though. There's something else. Oh, that is it. The new Hunger Games movie. I knew there was another one. Oh my god. Okay, so like I think a lot of people my age and younger and even older, I was hugely into the Hunger Games as a teenager. I read the books as they were released. I've seen the movies, the original trilogy, a 1,000 times. I love them. I still watch them to this day, like all the time. It's not all the time, obviously. I rewatched them in preparation for this movie, but I actually reread them at the beginning of the year anyways, in January. So they're amazing, and I really enjoyed the newest one as well. I think I enjoyed it more than I thought, because I think a lot of people, when Suzanne wrote the prequel book, weren't very excited that it was about Coriolanus because he's awful. But she gives a lot of context to his character, not redeeming context. I think a lot of people think that's what that it is, and it's definitely not, but it does enlighten you as to how he became the way he is and how even the games became what they are, which is largely his fault. And more context into like Tigress, who you see in Mockingjay, and just the the beginning of all of this that's set during the 10th Hunger Games. So it's not the very beginning, but it is the beginning of the Hunger Games becoming like what we know them as in the original trilogy. Tom Blythe and Rachel Zegler did an amazing job. So good. I mean, everyone in Viola Davis, Peter Dinklage, like everyone, the guy who plays Sejanus, I can't think of his, Josh Anders or something like that. The cast was great. Rachel is great. I know that there's like this big hate wave for her lately. I'm not on board. I don't get it. She's beautiful, very talented, and she sings her ass off in the movie. It was really good. Very like folksy country songs. So if you don't like that, you might not like them. But it's apt for the region, and they did a great job. They have great chemistry, and they kind of sell you on choreo just a little bit, even though you know where it's going. The one thing I will say, especially for the movie, is because you're obviously not getting the context or his like internal monologue that you get in the book, the movie paints him as an even more sympathetic character than the book does. I think if you haven't read the book, that you might leave the movie like sympathizing with choreo, and you shouldn't, because He is terrible from the jump in the book. Like, his internal monologue, even about the people he cares about, like Tigress and his grandma, and even Lucy Gray eventually. He thinks horrible, possessive, weird, demeaning thoughts about them all the time. His thoughts about the people in the districts are horrible from the jump. He is very much the President Snow that we knew in the original trilogy. Just, you know, maybe about half-baked. But he's there, he's brewing, he's percolating, he's about to come to the top. I saw some people saying by the end of the book they could see that he was evil from the very first page. I'm so sorry. Yes, he's not 100% evil, but you're true to life and you're not writing this like cartoonishly villainous person, nobody is 100% evil. Most people have the capacity to care for something or someone, or to do kind things even if they're not a good person at the end of the day. I don't think anyone's like 100% this or that. In the book you get that a lot, but in the movie I think his intentions are kind of lost in a lot of areas, so he comes off even better than he does in the book. But there's really no way to convey that in a movie unless you're going to narrate it kind of you style, and I just don't think that would have worked for the movie. So yeah, I mean, it happens with any book to movie translation. That I even think that about the original trilogy, that you lose a lot of Katniss's internal monologue and what she's actually feeling in certain situations. But you know, it's just what you deal with adaptations. So but I did still really like it. It was great. I really enjoyed it. I want to see it again, but I think I might wait till it comes out on streaming so my friend can watch it. My best friend is a Hunger Games fan as well, but she has a newborn, so we don't go to the movies together as much as we were before. So I think I'm gonna have to wait till it comes out on streaming, but definitely recommend watching it. If you're a fan of the Hunger Games. If you're not, maybe give it a shot. I don't know. And then the last movie I want to talk about is Saltburn. And this is a movie, it's got Barry Keoghan and Jacob Elordi in it, Rosamund Pike. I don't really know the other actors that well. And it's made by Emerald Fennell, I think that's her last name, but no, her first name's Emerald. She made Promising Young Woman, and I think she worked on Killing Eve or something. She's an actress as well. She was in The Crown. She was recently in the Barbie movie as well. Small role though. She's great. I think it's kind of a divisive movie, but so was her first one, Promising Young Woman. Very divisive. I liked both. I get a lot. I wouldn't say they're perfect movies, or that I think a lot of people have problems with the endings of the movies, but I really enjoyed Promising Young Woman, and I really enjoyed Saltburn too. I think that a lot of people are looking at it as like a critique of the wealthy, or like the elite, and if you look at it like that, I don't think it's a very good critique of them, so then you might not enjoy the movie. But that's not really how I viewed it. I just had fun with Barry Keoghan being a weird, crazy little fucker, and Jacob Elordi being just beautiful. I don't like Euphoria, and I didn't watch like The Kissing Booth or anything that he's really been in, so I've never gotten like with this obsession with him. I mean, yeah, obviously he's tall and attractive, but people are kind of like obsessed with him, and I never really got it. But I do get it now. He's great. He comes off very warm and charming, and obviously attractive, so he was great. Him and Barry, I went into it for Emerald because I liked Promising Young Woman, and Barry because I just love him. He's so, I've seen him in several things now. I always like him. I always think he gives a great performance. He's very charming, very likable. So that's why I went. But I came out a converted Jacob Elordi stan, and I think they all did really great. It gives kind of Talented Mr. Ripley vibes, if you've seen that. I don't want to say too much because it'll spoil it, but there's some truly wild moments that happen throughout. Again, I don't want to say too much, and like people are kind of acting like it's the craziest thing they've ever seen, and it's definitely uncomfortable. especially when I was in the cinema, there wasn't a lot of us in there, and we could all hear each other's like uncomfortable like laughter and just like, oh god. But it was good. I understood what she was trying to do. And I think a lot of people are kind of taking that opposite end of being like, oh my god, you guys, it's not that crazy. Like, calm down. Have you watched like these edgelord types who watch real movies, like film bros? You guys don't watch anything provocative, do you? Like, calm down, bro. The shit was weird. The shit that was happening was fucking weird. I'm sorry, it was weird. It was great. They all did a really good job, but it was weird. And it has a really good pop soundtrack right at the end, the same way that Promising Young Woman had Stars Are Blind in the middle. So Emerald is now 2 for 2 for like putting me on to extremely boppable, fun, catchy, older pop tunes. So I'm really enjoying that in her movies. I hope that continues. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I really have to say. And I'm also babysitting right now, and I swear that I just heard the baby kind of cooing from the other room. So I'm gonna cut this off at this point. I feel like maybe I was kind of rambling a little quickly. I hope that you guys don't mind. I'm a little rusty. But yeah, if after I see the like bunch of movies that are coming out next, if you guys want to talk about those, let me know. And let me know any of your thoughts on these movies in the comments. Definitely. I love talking about things like that. I love like fangirling. So if you've seen any of them, or if you want to, let me know. Or if you've seen anything else that came out recently that I should see, because like I have AMC stubs at the movie theater all the time. Let me know. Okay,